Okay, so now we're I'm just gonna show you. I guess some of you might or might not have done this yet. Yeah, and we're gonna record this so that you can refer to it later. But we've seen these guides being used before, and I'm gonna use that so that we have a point of reference for us to do our respective shapes. Right. I'm gonna create a new layer. I'm just gonna name it guide 1, for example, because on guide 1 I'm gonna put a circle. Do remember that for this particular circle you want it to be fixed aspect ratio and expand from center, so that you can let it coincide with the center of the guide or the intersection of the guide, right? So we have something like that, and I'm just gonna color this black. Right. Okay, now I'm gonna have another guide. Just gonna name it guide 2. Okay, so this is where I'm just gonna use something like this, just a rectangle, and let it. Okay, it can be pretty tricky to do with your mouse, which is why a lot of people, they choose to have a tablet when they do graphic designing and stuff, but still very much doable. Then I'm just gonna choose a different color. Okay, bear in mind this is not the best way of doing it, like, yeah, there might be other ways of doing it, and actually a lot of designers, they argue that the best way of doing a doing a precise shape might be to actually source it from the internet, but never mind. We'll just explore this method. You might be using your own method which is different from this, of course, right? So I'm just gonna color this. Now, having known that for an equilateral triangle it goes 120 degrees like that, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rotate this 120 degrees. Right. So you see here, when we want to rotate something, right, there is a center of rotation which is depicted by this plus sign, or a Philip. It looks like a Philip screwdriver thing, right? You can click on that and let it coincide with the edge like that. Then when I rotate it, oopsie, I accidentally pressed on the unified transform instead of rotate. So this is rotate, right? You see that Philip thingy, that plus sign. So just click on that and let it coincide again with the center of our guide, right? I'll just rotate it. I'm just gonna let it be 120 degrees here, right? Rotate. Okay, so now I know that this is where one of the points of my triangle should be within that circle, right? Now, using trial and error, I know that that point is around 75% or something, right? So I'm just gonna create another guide here and put it as 75%, right, which coincide with that particular point lah. This makes it easier because then I have both points 1 and 2, which I can use for this triangle. Right, so now I'm gonna create that layer which is for the triangle. And I'm just gonna use this path tool to create that triangle. Right, so it's here, right, and then here, and then here, and then remember to press the control button, and then here. Alright, now I'll just go to path. I'll just right click on this unnamed path and then path to selection. Then I can just color it a particular color. Let's use this color, for example. right? Just gonna color that, and I've got my equilateral triangle, right? Okay, so let's say we'll go on further for the pentagon now. So pentagon has 5 sides instead of 3, so we're just gonna divide 360 by 5, right? And we get 72. All right. Then erase this. Go back to the guide. Rotate it. First, get it back to its original location. Right. Then rotate it again to 72 degrees. And I get it going here, right? So next is setting up the guide lah. Again, this is based on trial and error. I actually got the guide at 35%. Right, so there goes the guide. It's an approximation lah. It's not really smack on the line kind of thing, you know. Then I'm gonna just rotate this some more. Again, we use 72 degrees from its original location. Now this is considered the original location, so I'm just gonna rotate it 72 degrees from there, and I get another point for the pentagon. Again, from trial and error, I got the guide at if I'm not mistaken, it's 90%. Right, so 90%. And we're pretty much done. Then I'll just put the path tool from the top here, right? Let it coincide with that point, and then this point. See, and then this point here. And this point here, and then that point there, and then of course before you click on the final click to join the lines, please press Ctrl, and then we should be okay now. We just path to selection it, go back to layers, create another layer called pentagon, right? Then again, I'm going to use the paint bucket tool and have that equilateral pentagon, right? So now we have a pentagon, equilateral pentagon, and equilateral triangle.